I arrived to the United States May 13th of 2008. That's when my American dream officially began. The moment I landed, 2 days after that, I was already enrolled in summer school, where I quickly realized I just did not like the country. I didn't speak the language and no one understood me. And so I was always a huge crybaby about it. My mother was always there to wipe the tears off my face and encourage me to become a better person. Both of my brothers and of course her were my entire family at the time. And so we were really close as to where we were heading. 4 months after I turned 16, I was given 6 felonies and 4 misdemeanors. I was at the wrong place, wrong time, with the wrong people. That radically changed my life. I was incarcerated for 5 months. I missed the majority of my sophomore year. And like I said, everything was different. You know, I had left jail, but something inside of me was always locked up. My mom was always there, supportive. She never stopped believing in me. And I could tell her the sky was red and she would just ask me what shade. She was always there for me in every single step of the way. After I was released, I knew I wanted to do one thing and one thing only, and that was to go to college. That was my goal and I had to attack it. And so I went from a 1.8 GPA to being on the top quartile of my class until my senior year. Of course, I was a wrestler and whatnot. And every college I applied to was a simple and hard no. The time came to apply to college, so I would most definitely apply to my dream college, Davidson College. Applied, denied. Wake Forest, denied. To this day, I still possess those letters. I had a phenomenal college advisor in high school, and she was always adamant about me as well getting into college. I had expressed to her my goal, and so she was always there, willing to help. We found a college in Southwest Virginia, Emory and Henry, that not only accepted me, but provided me with an honor scholarship. However, once again, rejection came to the door. College with the honor scholarship was still going to be a whopping $37,000. That was impossible for us to make. And so, however, I was already used to it. I knew I had to find ways around it. After a year of working in construction, which was a huge life lesson in every single way, I then, of course, was able to get more scholarships within the college that allowed me to go to the college for free. I received my green card as well as the honor scholarship, the civic leaders scholarship on top of the honor scholarship. And then I went out to college and joined everything that I could. From the swim team to the cheerleading team, I was part of the student life committee. Everything that you could possibly think of, I was a part of in that college. I completely had forgotten I was a Latino in Southwest Virginia, up until, of course, I was faced with suspension over an allegation that I had immediately proved inaccurate. Now, at that time, that meant that for 2 years, I couldn't be in college. That completely shattered the dreams that I had for my life after jail. This is when everything radically changed once again in my life, and I was faced with rejection. But the United States Marine Corps was a huge option. That's when I decided to go into the Marine Corps and began the process to join the few, the proud, the Marines. Once I joined the Marine Corps and I passed MAPS, signed my contract, swore in, I was in the delayed entry program for 10 months. Due to the fact that I wasn't a citizen of the United States. I was only a green card holder. And so during those 10 months, I went through numerous investigations where they had asked me about college and I told them exactly what happened. and why I was kicked out and why I shouldn't have been kicked out. And that in itself kicked me out of the United States Marine Corps, and I wasn't able to join it either. Throughout all of these obstacles, my mom never stopped believing in me. She never stopped supporting me, and much less cheering for me. That was my biggest cheerleader. The worst things could have happened to me, and she was there acting like they didn't and telling me to focus on forward. After all of that and throughout that, I won a modeling contest that introduced me into some people that were sales folks. Now these sales folks, of course, recruited me, and I started selling for GM, and then later on for Windstream, whose Fortune 500 companies record I broke at the age of 18 and 19. However, I was always fired due to being late and loud and having that explosion that I had within me, which allowed me to see numerous things. Everyone's replaceable in life. And my mother was always there to show me that though I could have been replaced anywhere else, as a son, I could never be replaced. This is when Aptiv came into the picture, and everything was a little doubtful at the beginning, right? I'm like, okay, could I really go out there and knock on a door and make a sale? It's a lot different than being on a phone. And of course, they have an entire program for you to learn and for you to push through. And I just followed it and went right through into it, became a team leader my first year. I was on the top 17 in the nation as a rookie, and I was top rookie in my region. It was a complete life change. I was able to provide not just for my family and for myself, but I was also able to tap into the kid George, right? You know, the whatever he wants, dumb or not decisions. I was able to buy myself a supercar, which is something that I've always wanted my entire life. So I just finished my second year with Aptiv. I did it once again. I just did it bigger. I failed harder. All through that rejection that this country has placed in my heart to accept, that is the true definition of freedom. Now I get paid to be rejected. I go out there, I get rejected, and it's part of my life. I've always had it within me. I've always had rejection with me, and I've always found a way around it. So it's just a game now. It's a game of life, and I love playing it. I can genuinely look at every failure in life and be grateful for it. From being in jail, getting kicked out of the Marine Corps, getting kicked out of college, and everything else that I went through within the construction world, I am grateful for it. And I can genuinely look at all of those failures with the same eyes that my mother looks at me with, the eyes of pride.